everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Erica with Memory Box Candle Co. and I make videos all about making and selling candles. And today's video is going to be a fun imagination of a hypothetical situation of if I was starting over and starting a candle business in 2022. However, I am going to assume that I have the knowledge of the previous 2 years in business and actually take that information and tell you what I would choose to do now if I was starting all over. The 4 points that I wanted to cover in this video on what I would choose to do differently if I was starting a candle business in 2022 is talking about what supplies I would use, the niche I would go into, how I would sell my candles, and then how I would market my candles. So let's go ahead and get right into it. The supplies that I would choose to use for a candle business would actually be the 9-ounce straight set of jars. I have it right here if you don't know what it looks like. These are very, very popular. And I was even thinking with a jar like this, I don't know if I would do a black lid, a silver lid, a gold lid. I would probably go into Alibaba and see if there's any type of specific color or specific kind of customization that I could do to really stand out, because these are very popular, and that is a good thing and a bad thing. The good thing about getting a jar that's really, really popular is the fact that you can get it from almost every single candle supplier out there because it's so widely used and widely produced. And you can also get them for fairly cheap if you did decide to go the route and get it directly from the manufacturer. But also the fact that a lot of people have this, so you would have to try to stand out a little bit more. So that's why I'd probably try to look into some sort of customization with the lid. And the reasons why I would choose this jar is because of the reasons I just listed, with them being more widely available, but also the fact that they have a fill line to them. So with my jars, they don't have a fill line, so I have to hang something over on the side and fill it up right until that point. Whereas right here, you'd be able to fill it up just to this line and you're done. You can just pour, 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 and you don't have to worry about making sure that it's up to the fill line or it's at the correct weight or whatever it is. You actually have a built-in fill line with these, and that's something that I recommend to any beginner. I would not necessarily recommend the matte black jars that I use for people just getting started into a candle business, specifically for that reason, and also the fact that the outside of them is really hard to clean. And with something like this, it'd be super easy to just clean and wipe down any spills that you get on the outside of the jar. And that's something else that's a huge plus with these. I also think the concept of having something that's going to be easy and fast to make is something that you have to be thinking about ahead of time if you are wanting to start a candle business, but it just depends on what you want to do with that business. So I'm going to get into a little bit further later on in this video on why I would want to choose something that I could produce a lot more of and have it be a more simple and faster process to make. In terms of the wax, I don't know if I might stick with soy 10. I have no problems with soy 10. I do really like it. I might actually switch over to a coconut wax though. So like the virgin coconut soy, which I am going to be testing soon in my matte black jars, or coconut 83, or even coconut apricot wax, just because I feel like those waxes aren't as widely known as soy wax. So many people know soy, but coconut wax just, I don't know, it sounds a little bit fancier and it sounds more enticing. And a lot of people are allergic to soy. So a lot of people are looking for alternatives. So I think that if I were to start a candle business now, I'd probably go with more of a coconut wax. Another size candle vessel that I would choose would actually be a very small 10. So like a 1 ounce or a 2 ounce 10. And this will make more sense later on in the video when I talk more about it, but I would just stick with 2 different sizes. I think that I'd probably want to just keep it as simple as possible. I think that when we want to start something like a business, we have so many different ideas. And if you're like me, you're an idea person, you have all these different ideas on how you want to expand. And then before you know it, you're so overwhelmed with having to keep up with so many different things. And I think that just keeping it small and keeping it simple with just 2 different sizes would be the best way to go in this hypothetical situation. I also don't know if I would offer wax melts or room sprays. I think especially in the beginning, I would just focus on candles and make sure that I am going to be profitable and successful with just those products first before I try to add anything else on. And this next one is a big one because I took it way too far in the beginning of having so many fragrance oils, and keeping track of that and knowing when to order the fragrance oils and making sure they're not going to expire before you have time to make the candles out of the fragrance oils. It's just, I would probably have about 8 different scents to choose from. It wouldn't be too overwhelming for the customer, but it also would give a good variety of different scents, and it would be a lot easier on me in the back stock of everything. I would also try to order my fragrance oils from one supplier or maybe 2 suppliers, because of the reason that you will save a lot more in that wholesale price and also save a lot more money in shipping, just so you're not spending shipping at 3, 4, 5 different suppliers. You will save a lot more money buying in bulk and buying all of your fragrance oils from 1 or 2 suppliers. And then in terms of labeling, I am very simplistic with my labeling. I don't think that I would change that up, but I would probably have like a cute little wraparound label. I don't know if I would have it just like a really small label. I think I would have probably a wraparound label that wrapped over the whole thing. And I would probably leave it simple just because I like the look of that, but also just in case the customer, wants to add their logo or add some kind of customization onto it, I want to have that option. The niche that I would choose to go into would be the event business. So to create candles for specific events going on in other people's lives. So I think that this would open up doors to not only sell direct to consumer, but also sell wholesale to different businesses. So I think that with this, I would probably want to stick with one specific event category. So the thing that comes to mind the most would be the wedding industry. I feel like it's so big and people are willing to spend money on their wedding. And I think that, weddings are happening all the time. So if you can really create a product that people are wanting to purchase for their weddings, I think that that's a really good thing to be in and go into. And I know with my business now, I could do that. I could do that on the side and offer things. And trust me, I have ordered things and thought about it. And then it's me just bringing myself back to just calm down, just simple. Don't try to bite off more than you can chew, because I do that all the time. And sometimes I get excited about things and I want to do it, and then I'm not able to do it. So this video was really just to kind of help get my imagination out and hopefully inspire some of you as well. But with this kind of thing, I think that this would really kind of open up the doors to sell not only direct to consumer, but also to businesses as well. So bridal boutiques, wedding planners, work hand in hand with them so that when they have customers, maybe they can get a small commission for referring your products, or however that would work. I'm not too sure how that would work. And then be able to, have wholesale deals, or even just online being able to sell directly to the brides if they're wanting to purchase a customized, will you be my bridesmaid candle? Will you be my maid of honor? Whatever it is, just to have things really customizable for each person wanting to order. And then in terms of where I would want to sell my candles, I think that it is always good to have a website. And in this instance, I would definitely want to have both an Etsy shop as well as my own website. Etsy, I think, is really, really good, especially if people are just generically typing in, best wedding gifts or bridesmaids gifts or wedding favors, and try to rank really high for those keywords on there and take really, really good photos and have your products stand out so that people are wanting to purchase your products instead of somebody else's, and really be able to have your products in front of more eyes. So that's probably what I would do there, is just specifically have Etsy for the bride going on there and wanting to order things specifically for herself, and then also have that option on my website, but also have a separate option for wholesale orders as well. So if somebody has a little bridal boutique and they want to have a bunch of those candles inside of their shop, so that when brides go into their shop, they can go ahead and order or, buy those while they're in there, then they can have those pre-stocked and choose the scents and all that kind of stuff that they want. And I think that by only having, 6 to 8 scents, I think that that would give me an option to be able to just pre-make all of the scents in the 2 different sizes and be able to have those available, so that when somebody ordered a customized label, I would be able to just take those scents and then put on the customized label. In terms of marketing, I think what I would do is specifically focus on reels, TikToks, maybe even some YouTube videos, and I might even create a blog as well. I think that was something where if you have a product and it's within a certain industry and you can create almost your own educational voice in that industry, I think that you would then be able to link back to your products and have those customers that are getting your information to be able to actually purchase from you because you were the one to educate them. So an example of this would be is if I made a reel or a TikTok or a blog post talking about how to create your own DIY bridesmaids box. So for brides that are wanting to ask their bridesmaids if they will be in their wedding, if they'll be a bridesmaid in their wedding, they want to have a cute little box. So I think that creating a box and having your candle in it and having a customized label, they'll see that and be like, oh, I really like that. Where can I get that? And then you'd be able to link back to your product for them to purchase. So you're adding value to your customer and giving them information that is going to help them. And then in return, hopefully they'll want to purchase from you. I'm finding myself saying you in this video, but I really mean me in a hypothetical sense, so my language is kind of back and forth in this video. But essentially, a good example of this is actually replica surfaces. So if you don't know what replica surfaces is they sell photography boards, and I have like 4 of them. I love them, but I love how they do their marketing for their product. They actually educate customers that have businesses and are wanting to photograph their products that don't know necessarily how to do product photography, and they educate on product photography while also showcasing their products. So I think that if you can figure out a way in your business to do that, I think that that is top notch, and that is definitely something that I would do is if I was starting a candle business on events, no matter if it's baby showers, weddings, whatever it is, try to create something that is going to educate the customer and give value to your customers. I also think it would be a good idea to partner with local bridal shops. So even if they didn't have my candles for sale there, I would want to maybe have them include a coupon to my website for the brides to go and purchase from my website. So if they're wanting to give their wedding guests some party favors, they could purchase the little 2-ounce candles and have that be a part of the little favors that they give to their wedding guests. Everybody loves candles, so I feel like no matter what industry, no matter what event or anything like that, you could figure out a way to be able to sell candles within that industry. But that is what I would do if I was starting over and starting a brand new candle business in 2022. And trust me, if I could split myself in 2 or 3 or 4, I would absolutely have another candle business that was separate, that was specifically for an event candle business, and I think that that would be so much fun. And I just have all these ideas of how I'd be able to structure it. But I hope that this gave you some helpful insight and information, and I hope you learned something in today's video. If you guys did, make sure to leave it a thumbs up, as well as subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, don't forget to follow me over on Instagram at MemoryBoxCandleCo, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.